ends with these four best friends. The fun never ends with the boys.
With the boys, yeah.
Hello, this is WIUX LP Bloomington, and you are listening to The Boys Cold One Hour. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Clay.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Sergey.
We've got a great episode planned for you this week. Thank you very much to our loyal listeners for tuning in, and to our new listeners who are listening.
Yes.
You know, whether you're listening online, you know, in your car, on your,
whether
you
you're
know,
just sitting outside the studio.
Yeah, I was about to say.
standing outside the studio, with your mobile radio,
Yes, with your walkie-talkie.
listening on the app.
Yes.
How else would someone listen?
Yeah, the Boys
Wait, is
Cold
there an
Hour
app?
The Boys Cold Hour app.
Oh, I don't know. There's probably some radio app that we're on.
I mean, some
right?
people,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
some people probably made some apps for us.
Yeah.
Like, there's the Boys Cold Hour,
Cold Hour
Angry
app.
Birds, Boys Cold Hour, Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
So it's bound to happen somewhere.
You know, a little cup with a string, however you're listening.
Little cup with this. That's the classic.
Thank
one.
you.
If you're hiding in the
How does that
studio.
even work?
Oh, dude. I don't know. Something with
How
the
does that-
vibrations, right?
As a kid, when I saw people do that, I was like, I just don't. How does this work? I haven't. Like, it like honestly bothered me thinking about it because I couldn't figure out how it could possibly work. And in the end, I just decided,
Yeah.
oh, that's just a made-up TV thing. Doesn't
Wait,
work.
isn't it a made-up TV thing?
Does it actually? Okay,
I thought it was.
tweeted us or text us. If I was to get a cup, and
If you want to.
put a hole in the bottom and attach it to a rope to another cup, can me and Billy communicate?
Maybe it depends on the rope a little bit. It
I
depends
feel-
on the cups.
If it's like a wire, then I feel like that makes kind of sense. But if it's just a string,
No, it's a string. And,
I feel like I can.
and TVs are. It's probably like
I can
maybe
feel-
a thing with vibrations.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
Yeah,
feel like I could
definitely
hear if
something
you're
with
talking,
vibrations.
but I don't think I'd be able to hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you just hear.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
you know
you would
those
think
things
so.
on the playground where you talk into one and then
Yes! Those
are
were
always
awesome.
really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
fun.
So maybe it's kind of like that. I don't know. A
Yeah,
very
yeah.
crude version of that.
A crude, rude version of
A very crude, a dirty version.
Yes, a very
The explicit version.
X-rated version of
Oh, my goodness.
of a playground classic.
Yeah, maybe.
Holy cow. But anyways, we've got a great show for you this week. We've got some good things to talk about. You know, we're going to talk about politics a little bit. We've got a game for you. We've got a couple games for you. But before we get into any of those fun things, why don't you just go ahead and reach into your fridge?
Yes.
Elect
Grab a
which
cold
cold
one.
one would you would
Elect
like.
a cold one.
Elect
If you
a
want
cold one
to.
drink, if you would like.
From your cold one caucus.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, maybe I'll get the peach soda from Georgia today.
Ooh.
Or maybe the orange Fanta from Florida.
Oh, man.
Or perhaps
Jonathan's
some of
alma
that,
mater.
perhaps some of that clam-based cold one from
Maine.
Massachusetts, from Cape Cod.
Oh, man.
There's
Dude,
lots
this,
of
I don't know what you're opening, but it sounds pretty good.
Now that's what I call a cold one. Who are those boys on the radio? They've got some cold ones and their own shows. So open up your ears, listen to us. Forget your fears, there's no need to fuss, cause the fun never ends with these four best friends. The fun never ends with the boys. With the boys. We're so glad you're listening tonight. We got a great show planned. I'm sorry my guitar is a little out of tune.
Hey, it's okay.
Hopefully that wasn't too hard on any of the listeners' ears.
No, it sounded great to me.
I just elected to try a new tuning.
Alternate
Just
tuning.
kidding. I
Very
just,
nice.
I didn't do it.
All right. So, before we get into, the nitty-gritty, I think it's time to do a tradition that we always have, the boy wonder and the boy blunder, or because it's election season, the boy veto and the boy despacito.
Wait, so before you get this, which is the good one? Despacito's the good one, right?
Yeah, so we were having a little
Right,
debate.
yeah.
The Despacito is the
Yeah, we were having a little political debate over which was better, Veto, Despacito.
Because Despacito is basically the guy who listens to Despacito, which is like the biggest summer jam of what? Would that be
All time.
2017?
20, yeah, I believe so.
2017.
Versus the Veto is
Oh,
the
man,
guy
I heard
who,
that
like,
so many times that summer.
the
Holy
Veto
cow.
were like, oh, let's go bowling. Veto!
Yeah, I got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Veto! Oh, we're going to Sergey's piano recital. We're all really excited.
Oh, jeez.
Just does not get along with the rest of us.
Exactly.
Yeah. They probably don't like certain sandwich shops, They vetoing
Sandwich
everything.
shops.
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 Sandwich
Yes.
shops.
Yeah, they're probably the
Speaking
worst.
of sandwich shops, we're sponsored by Quiznos. No, I'm
No.
I think they're out of business. I haven't seen a Quiznos in them.
No, there's one. There's one in Valparaiso.
There's none around here.
Well, I mean, Valparaiso is like the Wild Wild West. You never know. You never know. I hear there's still like 7 blockbusters there. So.
Oh yeah, we have 7 blockbusters. We don't have fiber optic cable or anything
Don't
like
have
that.
electricity.
No electricity. Yep.
Oh man, Quiznos, eat it up, baby.
Eat it up, baby. That's isn't it like Quiznos toasty?
Oh wait, yeah, toasty.
That's so
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's like McDonald's. Yummy.
Yummy.
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
What if you didn't even like a toasty sub? You know, what if you liked them not to be toasty?
Well, then you wouldn't go to Quiznos. Because I think that's
Exactly.
Quiznos' central thing.
Yeah.
Is
Then you
toasty-
go to like a
yeah,
Then you go to like I don't know. You'd ask for a sandwich from your great aunt Agatha or something. I don't know.
Jimmy John's. Cold.
Cold. Cold and uncooked.
What's that?
Raw. But hey, at least they're freaky fast.
Yeah,
Oof.
that's freaky.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they give me my Jimmy John's sandwich. I'm like, whoa, that's too fast.
Oh, man.
I get so freaked out.
It just appears in front of you.
Whoa. I didn't order yet.
Well, speaking of toasting things, it's time to toast
Toast
one of
to the boy
us.
Despacito.
A toast.
Yeah,
Boy,
t-
Despacito.
I'd like to give a toast. Raise your cold ones to the boy Despacito,
All rise.
which is for this week, Sergey Waxman.
Thank you.
Despacito.
Cito. Da, 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 da.
Puerto Rico.
Go, Sergey.
Burrito. Sergey.
Yay.
He eats Doritos.
This is probably kind of.
Yes.
I think that's might be kind of bad for.
Is it?
Might be kind of offensive.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that.
come on.
No, yeah,
Come
right. We're
on.
supposed to be politically
Okay,
correct this
we are
episode.
being politically correct this week.
Yes.
Um,
So, not a great
okay.
track record so
Not
far.
a great start.
Not a good start.
Hey, good.
Although Taco Bell does have the new Sergey Rito.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, this is a mess.
It's like a crunch wrap with Sergey's face on it.
All right, but anyway, so Sergey is our boy Despacito for the week.
Yay.
And the reason for this is because, like he often does, he very much came in clutch for one of us, specifically me.
You will not go named. Oh, never mind.
Specifically me, because my laptop charger stopped working while I was in the middle of working on a pretty big project, which was, of course, a bummer.
terrifying.
So I haven't had access to using my laptop for the past couple days because it's completely dead. I also do not have my own Amazon Prime account. So Sergey
Jesus,
was
gets
kind
worse and worse.
enough to order a laptop charger for me on Amazon Prime. And I already have it. It was quick.
That's so awesome.
Not to promote Amazon Prime or anything, but hey, it got here pretty quick. And
Did
Sergey really.
Was it a gift for you or?
No, it was not a gift.
How much was the shipping and handling fee on that one?
Oof. We're not allowed to talk about prices on air, but let's just say it was enough.
But let's just say
There's plenty.
let's just say that by using discount code Boys Cold One, you received 20% off your purchase when you bought your charger.
Whoa.
Kidding.
That's a joke.
It actually is a joke.
Well, that's awesome. You know, I've had so many of those scares where it's like I think my computer, like just recently, I thought my computer broke before my Big 7 last week.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Remember? I was like,
Yeah.
buy some time. So those computer moments are so scary. So Sergey, thank you for making Jonathan's life better.
Yes.
Although
And
arguably you could say Jonathan's the blunder for not preparing.
yeah, not preparing for the
driving to
worst.
Best Buy,
I always
only
have
like-
5 chargers
Oh,
on
Best
it
Buy
all.
didn't
Best
have
Buy's
it.
only like 20 minutes away.
They didn't have it.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but no, actually, Sergey, thank you for making Jonathan's life better, and therefore me and
Yes.
Clay's lives better. Because let's be honest, whenever
Yeah, 'cause
Jonathan's in a
Jonathan
bad
wasn't-
mood, our lives become a living heck.
Really?
Yes, because Jonathan wasn't moping around the house for days like he normally would be.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so thank you very much to Sergey for being a
Yes.
wonderful Despacito-licious boy.
Thank you. Yeah, I was
and
joking
our
about Jonathan, by the
next
way.
boy who did something absolutely terrible. They really screwed up.
They
this week.
vetoed.
They
veto.
vetoed our plans. Was
Clay Catlin.
I'm gonna veto that veto.
And the reason actually was because he did veto something. We were all going to be planning for the boys' golden hour, and Clay was like, "No, veto. I'm not going to be there." But actually, for very good reason. You know, we're giving him the blunder because no one else really. Goodness, did anything?
blunders.
Jonathan's
Well,
just-
okay.
I have a counter
Okay.
blunder. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Anyways, it's fine. The reason we're giving him this blunder, no one else did anything too bad, and Clay is very busy today. He has an assignment he's working on,
Yes.
still finishing it up.
Still finishing up.
So he's kind of wonderful for being here right now.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I wouldn't miss a show
But
for anything.
we did have to give him the boy blunder for not being there
I
at
deserve
all
it.
when
I
we were
deserve
working
it.
on the show. So for that, you are the boy veto. For
You
the
know, not only did I know that this was coming when I said I couldn't work on the show, I also have accepted it because, you know, I could have gotten it done earlier. Basically, today I've been inside literally all day. I haven't left I've been in the bathroom in 2 other rooms working on this assignment that's 10 pages that I'm finally finishing up. But it's basically been pretty chaotic. And in typical me fashion, I only have to write 10 pages, but ended up being 12. So I was like, 10 pages, that's easy. I can write that in 7 hours? 6
you're
hours, I think,
fast.
really fast. But then because I added so much additional stuff, it took even longer. But hey,
Oof.
I'm definitely going to have it finished by midnight. So Despacito.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
well, good
But yes,
luck.
I've
Good job.
accepted it. But if I'm a little off on the show tonight, it's because I've been cooped up all day in the same room, and I've only been thinking about one thing. So I might be a little bit wacky on the show tonight.
Hey,
Oh.
well, you know what I think you need for that? I think you need a little relaxing music to help you chill out before we get into our next topic of discussion.
And we picked this song specifically for you to help you get through the rest of the final hours of the day here.
Oh, yes, I need this.
So we hope you all enjoy it as well.
Yeah. All right.
Don't go away.
And we're back with the boys' Cold 1 Hour.
Yes.
That musical song came from Billy who?
Oh, it was Two Can Win by Jay Dilla.
Great
right,
song.
yeah.
2 can win. Unfortunately, in politics, only 1 can win.
Yeah.
The lyrics of that song said only one can win also, if you're listening.
Yes.
I was listening. I did not pick up on
The
that.
voice is saying, only one can win, only one can win. Ooh,
Oh, man. But the song was called 2 Can Win.
Yeah, no, that's the
Yeah.
central
This is
juxtaposition
controversy.
at the heart of Jay Dilla's work.
That's beautiful.
R.I.P. Jay Dilla, by the way.
So as we've alluded to, we're going to be talking about politics a little bit during this show.
Yeah, we're going to get into a political debate.
It's going to be nothing like
gonna be heated.
So me
another
and
great
me and
show.
Billy are going to be in a debate about,
It's not going to be quite like another great show, My Bully Pulpit. Shout out to Duncan,
yes.
who's listening.
He proposed the boy Despacito and the boy Beto
Right.
after
yeah.
Beto O'Rourke. I don't know how you say his name.
And, if you're going to be voting yesterday, you're probably going to need something to wake you up. So you're probably going to need to set an alarm.
You may have even voted about daylight savings time. A very controversial political law. No, I don't know. I made that up.
And
All right?
well, what I'm going for here, speaking of alarms,
Oh, yes. So, last, I think it was actually 2 shows ago.
2 shows ago,
2
yeah.
shows ago, we had a segment that was about crazy alarm clocks. And we have a few more that we didn't get to finish in the last show, so we're going to pick up from there.
Right.
And it happens to just be perfectly around the time of daylight savings time, where you move the clock back an hour, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Daylight savings time. That was nice.
that was very nice.
It went from, I can't go to bed till 3, or, ooh, look who's going to bed at 2.
Exactly.
That's a cool guy.
Actually, I think, didn't we go to bed at like 2 technically?
I think we went to bed at 4 technically.
Oh, shoot.
But it was actually
Never mind.
3.
yeah. So we switched from daylight savings to standard time.
Two standard, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But although
So it wasn't.
jokes on us when we lose an hour because that's always terrible.
I know.
Oh, that
We go
is
from going to
that
bed at
is
2 to going to
awful.
bed at 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's rough.
But the thing is, when you're doing that, you're getting an hour more of daylight at night, so it kind of balances out.
That's true.
I'd much rather have that than have it how it is now.
I agree. It gets
But-
dark so early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do.
I
I
would
do
take
like
the
light.
getting dark early for that one blissful moment of it's not as late as I thought it was. Like, that's so nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
but also
yeah.
I get used to it like immediately.
Yeah,
so
it's
maybe
only
I
an
should just
hour.
Say the same.
And,
always.
and so it changes at 2, right?
Yeah.
So I was actually up late studying that night, and I actually thought that it hadn't happened yet.
Oh, and it
Oh,
did.
no.
And then it already had happened,
That's so
and I was
sad.
like waiting for it to happen,
No.
and then it didn't. And I was like, wait, no. So it's actually like an hour later than I thought it was.
Oh,
so it
that's
actually,
kind of
it was
pointless,
actually kind of, sad, but
Shoot, that is
Oh.
kind of sad.
yeah. So I
Well-
ended up going to bed later than I was expecting.
That's sad.
but-
Play Despacito.
Well, hey, if you
Or
have this
Vito,
alarm
yeah.
clock, it might have saved you the grief.
True.
So I'll just jump right in.
Yeah. Well, real quick, just for those of you who
Whoa,
are
whoa,
not.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
Don't
whoa,
jump right in,
whoa.
right?
Yeah, I just want to say for the people who weren't here last time, Sergey is going to describe different wacky, crazy alarm clocks to
That's
us.
right.
One of them is real, the rest he made up, and they're very creative. It's really hard to tell. So
And also for the people who weren't here last time, why weren't you?
yeah, man.
What gives?
And what was the name of this game?
Do you not set your alarm clock? It's called
What was the name of this game?
Sergey's
It's
crazy
called
clocks of
Despacito's demise.
I don't know
Yeah.
if we had a name.
Do we not have a name? We must have had a name.
We might have.
This was
But-
2 weeks ago. Let me check back in our show notes here.
Sergey's
I don't know if it was
kooky
on there.
clock caper.
But if you all are ready, I'll
I'm
go
ready.
ahead and start firing away. So the first alarm clock is.
Oh wait, can I say it?
Yes.
It was Sergey's clerical clocks of cluelessness.
Oh shoot.
Oh.
The first alarm clock was invented by the Sumerians. No, I'm kidding. I just made that
Oh.
up. I just made that up. I just said it because you said the first alarm clock before Jonathan really interrupted you.
Ah,
So go on.
so the first
Okay,
alarm
ready.
clock is a car alarm clock. And this crazy alarm only works for cars that are Bluetooth compatible. So I think like 2009 and above or something like that.
Right, yeah.
But you connect your car, you connect your alarm clock to your car through Bluetooth, and it turns on your car's horn until you wake up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You connect your alarm clock to your car via Bluetooth, and then when it wakes up, it runs over you and kills you. So you don't have to wake up early.
Oh,
Oh jeez. Uh,
you just sleep in front of your car.
It kills, so it can
Oh,
kill you in the
geez.
morning.
Oh, wow.
If you don't get up 1 minute after your alarm goes off. Like you have a job that you know you'll lose if
Oh, yeah.
you know you'll lose if you sleep in.
So
Oh,
you like
geez.
sleep in
It's
your
like, if I
garage.
sleep in, I just want to die.
You like have a
honestly.
huge garage and you sleep in your garage. Like, then you're
my
like 5 to
goodness,
10 feet
come
away from your
on.
car, and it
Yeah.
just starts like slowly.
Yeah,
inching
it slowly
towards
starts
you.
rolling towards
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh, shoot.
And you feel it like hit your. Oh goodness. Okay.
the next alarm clock is the dancing alarm clock.
Ooh.
And
What
this
kind of alarm
this alarm clock is attached to a dance pad, one of those small miniature dance pads, through like a USB cable.
Like Dance Revolution.
Yeah,
style?
like dance. Yeah,
Ooh.
just like that. And it won't turn off until you finish the dance moves that are assigned. And it
Sounds
has, I
kinda
think,
fun.
over 15 songs that are preloaded on there
Ooh.
that you can dance to.
What type of songs?
I'm not actually sure.
Fucking like Crazy Frog or something. That'd be pretty
that'd be pretty
That
intense.
sounds pretty fun, but for me, my feet are always really sensitive in the morning. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Like if I step on something in the morning or like step on a cold floor, it just hurts so bad. So I feel like
Oh, man.
jumping around on a dance pad would be like
Oh, man.
torture.
But that seems kind of realistic.
I might
though.
need to
It'd be
get that
fun,
one.
though.
Yeah.
The next one is called the Bomb alarm clock. And this
alarm
is
clock blows you up.
this alarm clock looks like a bomb, and you place a
You choose 3 family members to be the hostage.
oh gosh. You so it looks like a bomb, and you place a marshmallow in the middle of it, and the marshmallow will explode if you don't turn off the bomb in time.
A marshmallow.
Yeah.
Does it just explode like on your face, or is it just like it makes a mess
It
wherever
just
you have
makes
it?
like a mess wherever you have it.
Okay.
And
I
you
like
have
that.
3 wires, and you have to it changes every day or like whenever you set it
Oh, what the
to a
heck?
red wire, a blue wire, or a yellow
So you
wire.
can wake up and be completely cognizant and still have marshmallows go all over you.
Wait, really? Oh, come on.
That's a tough deal, honestly.
But basically buying yourself a mess.
And then the last one is a money shredding alarm clock that will shred money that has been
Oh,
left
my
over in the
That's
night.
crazy.
Oh, I like
After
that.
1 minute, it will begin shredding your hard-earned, cold-won money.
That reminds, me,
hilarious.
that reminds me of that. You know that game you can play on somebody's computer where you you're playing. It's like a game basically like Asteroids, but for every time you get hit, it destroys one random file on your computer.
Oh,
Wait, no, I have
goodness.
not played.
Yeah,
that
it's like
before.
people like will do it to be mean, or like if they know they're gonna get rid of their computer. It's like that.
Oh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Shoot.
That's crazy.
All right.
Okay, so I think the most realistic one of those is probably the dance pad.
I agree.
I would say either the dance one or also the money one sounds kind of realistic.
Oh.
The money one, I almost
like
so
people who
bad.
really can't.
I know
sleep in.
that's so bad. But I almost hope it's real just because I think it's so funny. You're like,
Yeah.
I have
I
such
would
trouble
never
going to
use
sleep.
that.
I would rather. I'm just gonna put all my money in this shredder,
Oh,
and
my
it's gonna
goodness.
activate if I don't wake up in time. Like that's so. Imagine like waking up every day being like,
Oh, my money!
my money. Like
I would be
My
so
livelihood.
sad.
like oh, I might as well have not even woken up and gone to work yesterday because everything I earned just got shredded.
Yeah.
Like the next morning.
Yeah, that just gives you more
man.
incentive to sleep in. Well, another day of work lost. I guess I'm going to bed.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
goodness.
But I think the car one that instantly kills you sounds pretty real.
All right.
The car one is funny, but the horn is not. I don't think that would really happen. I'm gonna go with the dance
Yeah.
for the money. What do you guys think?
I
Those
think
are
I'll
my
go for
picks.
the dance one.
Okay,
It,
dance.
it seems like
That's
the most realistic, but this could be a trick. But
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm gonna have to go with.
I agree. I think it might be a trick, but I think dance is
Yeah.
the one to
All
go
right.
with.
All right,
Sounds
so-
like the one I most like to have.
Yeah, I think the money one is
Sadly-
real, but let's go with the dance.
Sadly, the dance one is not real,
Mm.
but the money one is.
No,
Yeah.
Clay,
You
you
guys should listen to me, man.
Hey,
So hey,
that last answer.
hey, you said both.
all
I
right,
did say at the end. I was
Two
only
can't
one
win.
can
Only one can.
all right. Oh
Oh
shoot!
shoot! Only one can win.
Are you boys ready for the next one?
Dang, I can't believe. So people actually shred their money
Yeah,
because
we
they,
need one of those. For
wow.
for
Imagine
you.
if like
Jay
some
needs one of those.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jay or some of the people we know like they
It
would.
shreds like some other like it shreds like
Boy bucks?
significant like family photographs you have.
Oh, no.
of, like,
So
loved ones.
sad.
Or like little souvenirs you have. Like it shreds like your childhood teddy bear.
Oh no,
no.
that'd be so sad. Like everything you care about.
Yeah, like
just
just all
starts-
the things you care about are loaded in the shredder, and they just slowly get shredded.
No, that'd be so sad. Oh man. Okay. Oh wait, what's going on
What's
here?
going on over there?
It looks like there actually is a Dance Dance Revolution alarm clock.
Oh, but it looks like that one's for your fingers.
It's for your
not-
fingers,
not
but
your
still, it's
feet.
like
that
a-
doesn't
it's-
count. That doesn't
That's
count.
that's like an iPhone game.
Yeah,
I feel
that
like.
doesn't count.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. It's not an iPhone game.
Because
Similar-
the point of this is that
concept.
it's your feet on the real pad. So I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not dancing.
Oh, sure. I just wanted to look it up. 'cause
But
I
it
was
is pretty
man,
cool that
this
they
would
have
actually be really
something.
fun to have if it was real. So
yeah. So I feel like you should invent some of these alarm clocks that you're making.
Oh,
Maybe not the car one. but-
yeah, that'd be terrible.
I can't believe
Yeah.
people shred
Your
their
neighbors
money.
would hate you.
It's all like your birth certificate. You have like all these
Oh,
social
dude.
security
Your
cards.
social-
Oh my goodness, your passport.
Yes.
You might as well just hook up your
Letters
like credit
from,
card.
Like,
Oh goodness.
letters
Well, that
from
wouldn't
like
be
the
that
love
bad.
of your life who broke up with you.
You
Oh,
you might as well just have your like debit card or credit card hooked up, and it just starts like purchasing all sorts of random things online, and like shipping them to like
Then you
random
get- then you get
locations.
stuff. No, it gets stuff for you, but it's like really dumb stuff.
Yeah, that you never
right.
need.
It's like purchasing one leather apron.
ready for
it
the?
tells you what it's purchasing as you, so it's hard to fall asleep. It's like, wait, no, I don't.
Wait,
need
I actually
that.
needed that. Thank you.
All right, here's the next set of alarm clocks. The first one is the burnt bacon alarm clock. And this alarm clock will bake bacon for you, but if you decide to sleep in, it will continue baking your bacon until it is burnt.
Oh, that's the most because
man.
you know have how epic bacon. That's got to be the most epic alarm clock ever.
I actually feel like because some people are really obsessed with bacon, that could be true.
They're not anymore.
As long as it's
But
not a
that could be
fire
like-
hazard.
That could be like an old thing. Like,
It's
do, you
like-
remember, do you remember people were like, dude, bacon is so epic.
Yeah.
I know. No, I'm saying it's from those things. Like it's from like the rub some bacon on it days.
Oh.
It's like that one episode of The Office where Michael Scott burns his foot making bacon in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's based off that. Honestly.
Yeah.
I remember in high school, like during the high point of that bacon revolution, there's this kid who was like, hey, smell my Band-Aid. And it was like, it's a bacon-flavored Band-Aid. And I go close to it, it just smells like so
Disgusting.
disgusting.
Oh, gosh.
Because, I mean, like, it was supposed to smell like bacon, but it just smelled like very, very bad.
Oh man.
All right, the next one is the catapult alarm clock.
This
This alarm clock. What? All right, this alarm clock propels 10 marbles at your bed using
Like, what if that like hit
Using
you
a
in the eye or, like,
mechanical-
went into your throat?
a mechanical
I sleep with my mouth open a lot of the time.
In order to turn off the alarm clock, you have to collect all the marbles and place them into the alarm clock.
I feel like I would lose my marbles if I
The
had that.
next,
Is it meant to hit you or hit your bed?
it hit your bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one is the sniffing alarm clock. This alarm clock will start making unpleasant odors if you don't turn it off.
It starts making the bacon Band-Aid flavor.
Yeah, so there's no way to stop the smell from spreading, so you better go get up fast and turn it off.
Oh, disgusting.
goodness.
And then the last
Imagine if like,
Wait, what's the difference between that and a normal alarm clock? You have to get up to turn it off anyway. So,
I mean,
like,
if you
you
want-
go off, you're turning off a sound. It's a smell instead. I feel like
your boss is like, we're gonna have to fire you. You haven't showered for weeks. He's like, no, it's my odor alarm clock.
I
Yeah.
feel like that would be awful. Holy cow!
Also, bad smell wouldn't wake me up. I would just wake up eventually in a bad smelling room, and then I would feel sad.
Oh.
And then
Sheesh.
the last one is the strong arm alarm clock. What it does is it connects to your phone and it begins dialing random contacts on your phone every minute until you wake
Oh,
up.
I would be so scared.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, so I don't think it's a strong arm one.
I think it's okay to me.
Also, the marble one, I just feel like realistically, if my bed got hit by marbles, I would just say, "Oh, there's marbles everywhere," and then instantly go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, there's no incentive to put them away.
My logic is the ones that seem the most real are the bacon one and the calling a random person your contacts. But I think the calling the random person is fake because we have done Mario Kart bets.
I don't
Where
think
we
the calling
call-
random person one is real.
Yeah, and that seems like something Sergey may have come up with because we do that in a Mario Kart bet where if you lose, we get to pick someone random from your contacts and you have to like call them or
My
text
guess is
them.
on the bacon or maybe even the odor one.
Yeah, I
There's
could
a
see
chance.
I could see it being the odor
There's a
one
chance.
potentially.
The
I don't
odor
think it's the
one?
marble one because it happens once and there's no incentive.
Yeah,
to do
actually,
anything
I guess the odor one it could be that. Oh, jeez. I still think
because the problem with the bacon one is it burns the bacon, right? If you stay,
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like you
And
might
that's
be
like
like,
a
oh,
huge
whatever.
hazard.
Like I always have burned bacon. Like,
yeah,
But
but
also, that's like a huge hazard too.
Yeah, it could be.
yeah, could be,
Could be.
could be.
I guess that's a good.
It could
But
be.
that
Like, you
bacon
wake
thing
up with your
just
room full of smoke.
that seems like
You know what I
something
mean?
the internet would create. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna burn your bacon. You gotta wake up.
bacon now.
Yeah, exactly.
have my epic breakfast.
And you know, there's like some people who are like, yes,
Yes.
this alarm clock is amazing. I will
So,
never.
Do we want to go with the bacon or the scent?
I'll leave this one to you guys.
Toss up. This is toss up for me. I am leaning a little bit towards the scent one. The bacon one seems very
Okay.
dangerous.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with the scent one. Let's do it.
So sadly, it was not the scent clock,
Ah.
and it also wasn't the burnt bacon bacon clock.
What?
Though there are bacon clocks that will cook bacon for you in order to help you wake up, but they don't burn the bacon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The one that was actually correct was the strong arm alarm clock.
Oh, really?
Which dials
Really?
contacts on your phone.
Oh, whoa, that just seems so similar
But what
to
does
our
it do,
Mario
though?
Kart bet
What
that
does
I
it
just
do?
assumed it was
Huh?
real.
What does it do?
It just dials like random contacts.
But does it say anything to them, or did it answer and they're just nothing?
Probably nothing.
It's probably just like-
it
it's
probably
probably
just dials them.
You want to wake up
That's
to
so,
avoid
like,
the
so
awkwardness.
like bad for people who have like jobs. It just starts calling random people.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh, that would be
Especially if
really
you have to wake
bad.
up early. That's actually
Yeah.
really inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that one, but I guess that's what it
Johnson,
is.
you called me again this morning. You're fired.
You call your boss.
You call your boss, he answers. He just hears you snoring. You called my wife snoring again, huh?
Oh gosh. All right, you ready for the
Have
last
you
one?
won any of these?
I think you
Not
guys-
today.
Not
Not
today,
today.
but I think you won the which one was it?
I don't think we have.
I think you guys might have won the
Yeah, we
first
won
one.
like one or two the last
Okay.
time.
All right, well, here's the last one.
This one's for all the epic bacon.
Yes. So the first clock is the sonic boom alarm clock.
Sonic
This alarm clock will sound off a wailing siren at 113 decibels. It'll flash bright lights and shake your bed in order to wake you up using a vibrator.
Okay.
The second one is the tsunami alarm clock. Do you ever have that terrible feeling of having to get up and you know you have to go use the bathroom and you're going to have to
Oh,
get up
yeah.
eventually? It wakes you up.
Every morning.
So what this alarm clock does, it makes water noises.
It makes you wet the bed.
Like it'll start making slowly, softly, like it'll be maybe like a river, but then it'll get louder, like waterfall or crashing waves. And you
that
can
would
set
just
it-
make so many people wet the bed, though.
Well,
It
no,
slowly dips your hand into a glass of warm water.
well, it doesn't go that far, but that's how it helps you to wake up. The next one is the Nest alarm clock, and it connects to like those Internet of Things, like thermostats, like the Google Nest, and I think maybe some other ones, but I think that's the most popular one. And what this particular alarm clock does is it only works. It changes your temperature in the house to get cooler and cooler. It has 3 settings: Arctic chill, autumn breeze, or blizzard.
Oh,
And so as it gets colder, you might wake up, or you might wake up as an icicle.
Oh goodness.
And then the last one is called the Neighborhood Friends Alarm Clock. And this is a pretty simple
neighbors come
concept,
in and make fun of how
and
lazy
works
you are.
really well if you have nice neighbors. If you don't, might not be so great. But it
Neighborhood
just calls your neighbors and requests them to wake you up.
Oh wow, man.
If I got a call from my neighbor after me waking up, I'd be like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably think it was funny and do it. Actually, you know. What I
But like when it's every day,
Yeah.
I don't know.
mean? Howdy, neighbor. I need you to come. It's like
can I get a ride?
Yeah. It's like a pre-recorded message that you get every morning. Howdy, neighbor. It's like, oh, that's kind of fun. And then like it's like, howdy, neighbor. I seem to still be in bed. Can you come up and wake me and shake me up?
Oh, man.
on.
That'd be terrible.
Can you go over real quick just the names of these?
The
again?
Sonic Boom Alarm Clock.
That sounds real to me.
That's one that vibrates your bed and has
Okay.
the siren stuff. There's the Tsunami Alarm Clock with the waves and the water.
That one.
noise.
My problem with that one is that I feel like when I have to pee in the morning, I can at most hold it off for 5 minutes before I get up. Like I might go back to sleep after I pee, but never like it's never like.
I can hold off for pretty long sometimes.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah.
Oh, shoot. Then there's the Nest alarm clock, which slowly decreases the temperature.
Okay.
That could also be real, but yeah, that could be real.
And then there's the neighborhood friends alarm clock.
I think the neighborhood one is so ridiculous that I don't think Sergey would make it up. You know what I mean?
But
It seems too
He
fake.
could.
Sergey sounds like
Or maybe he knows that we're gonna think that.
Sergey sounds like he come up with the name Neighborhood Friends. I don't know why, but that seems like a creation of his.
Neighborhood friends.
I think my money's on the Blizzard one or the
I liked those names, like Arctic Chill.
yeah, the Blizzard one, but it's also Gatorade flavors.
Oh, I was gonna say it sounded like a flavor.
Well, no, they aren't Gatorade flavors. They sound like Gatorade
Yeah,
flavors.
Autumn Breeze.
Autumn Breeze is obviously the orange.
Oh, yeah, Autumn Breeze Gatorade.
The Autumn Breeze
That's
Gatorade
the
is so
brown
good.
apple cider Gatorade.
The pumpkin chilled
Ooh.
Gatorade.
Sounds pretty
Pumpkin
good.
Gatorade. And then I think the Sonic Boom, or as you say, Mortal Kombat, Sonic Boom alarm clock sounds real too.
I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Toss up between Sonic Boom and Arctic Blast for me.
Oh, really?
Hey, that's a drink.
I was leaning towards what's it called? The neighbor one, but
The neighborhood one.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't know about the neighbor one personally.
Oh,
That
wait,
seems
do we
a
all
little too
disagree?
crazy.
Then? What do you think, Jonathan?
I could go with the chillin' one. I could go with the tidal wave one.
If you just had the title one, we'd really all disagree. How about just because there's some disagreements, we answer one by one.
Yeah.
sure.
That's up. All right. So, Clay, we'll start with you.
Start with me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's see. This is the most obvious one, so I'll go with the Sonic Boom one.
All right. Jonathan, what's your answer?
I'll go with the chillin' one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one could be a
All
two.
right. I guess
And
I'll
Billy.
go with the neighbor one.
All right. So, Billy, sadly, you were not correct.
Okay.
There isn't an alarm clock, but it would be pretty interesting if there
Neighborhood
was.
Friends. That sounds like a
Neighborhood
creation. I don't know why. I can't explain why, but I
Neighborhood
know you well
Friends.
enough to know that you come up with something.
I was originally thinking of something like chilling with the hood, but then I was like, no, that might not be so
Chilling
good.
with
Oh my goodness.
Jonathan, sadly, yours is also not correct. There isn't anything out there like that yet.
Oh,
But
jeez.
But maybe there should be.
and then
Mama.
Clay, you got it right.
Yeah.
There is
Hey.
an alarm clock called the Sonic Boom, and it
Sonic
does
Boom.
shake your bed with the vibrator, and it does have the wailing sound, which is extremely loud, as well as the flashing bright lights.
Hey, I know some
Wow.
people, including myself, who could benefit from that. alarm.
Yeah, same actually.
That'd be pretty crazy.
All right, well, that concludes.
That was a great segment.
yeah.
You're really
thank
creative
you.
in coming up with the fake.
Yeah,
Oh, it
those
was a
are
lot of
awesome.
fun.
Some of
It was
those
a
should
lot
be
of
real.
Yes.
The money shredder? Well, okay, that was real.
That was-
Oh goodness.
I'm just imagining, howdy neighbor. I'm right next door. Can you wake me up, please? He's like just like getting the coffee, super tired in the morning, bags in his eyes. He's like, oh, it's like 9 voicemails. Howdy neighbor. I'm right next door. He's like,
You
oh,
accidentally forget to turn off your alarm on the weekend. Your neighbor gets called.
like 20.
Howdy, neighbor. It's like
Howdy neighbor.
you gotta wake him up. It's like, oh, I don't need to get up today. Thanks anyway, though.
I don't need to get off fixed anyways.
I've
And then he's like,
received
oh,
20 calls for you.
yeah. Then as he's walking back to his car, howdy neighbor.
Oh gosh. All
Great.
right.
Well,
Great segment. Great
yeah.
segment.
Thank
Well,
you.
now might be a good time. It's a little early for the news, but maybe we should just go ahead and do the sports and then quickly any news that we have.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So, on the news, at least for sports, a little bit of rivalry is always good to have with friends.
Oh, yeah.
If you're watching like some type of athletic sport, or maybe not, maybe it's a gaming sport or an esport.
Esport.
But sometimes people take it a little far. And this
goodness.
guy named Oscar was hanging out at his buddy's place, Arturo, and they got into such a heated argument over the Argentina soccer Super Clasico match that Oscar decided to burn down Arturo's house.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness, that's
wow.
crazy.
That's another alarm clock when you're.
Hey.
Yeah,
burn down
fire.
the
It starts a
house.
fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for sports. But going on to news
Also,
on the
IU in its first
Oh.
basketball game destroyed Chicago
They
State.
Yeah.
did. They
Final
did a
score
great job.
104 to 55.
Yes.
Home game for IU. Next game will be this upcoming Friday
Against
Montana.
against
Montana
Montana State,
Montana State,
at
yeah.
8 p.m. in Assembly Hall.
Fun fact: Chicago State is the alma mater of Kanye West before he dropped out.
Really?
Also, fun fact: Golden Boy recruit Romy Langford lived up to
He
potential,
did.
scored 19 points.
Yeah, did a great job.
Great game.
Great game, boys.
And then news on the 40s. So these past few weeks, hopefully you've all noticed that it was voting season for the midterm elections. And the turnout this year was great. In fact, it was over 113 million people participated.
is
And
it the most for midterm elections?
and it's the most, yes. And it accounted for 49% of eligible voters.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy for midterm elections.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So that was really
I know
crazy.
Indiana had a pretty dismal voter turnout, but other states hopefully have better ones.
Ooh. And then, smartphones continue to get larger and larger. But Samsung recently unveiled a folding smartphone.
Whoa.
That's made out of something called like flex display or whatever.
Oh, I think I heard of that.
Yeah.
It's like
But,
really small, right?
Yeah, it's really small, but
Yeah.
it's almost like a tablet size when you open
that's
it up.
crazy.
Yeah, but in all honesty, it kind of sounds like we're getting back to the flip phone age.
Yeah,
Everyone get that
see,
feeling. No,
I have an
kidding.
iPhone SE. I have an iPhone SE, and I love how small it is.
Oh,
and I see
same.
me and Sergey both have SEs, and they're great. They fit right in the pocket of any pants. But then some of these people walking around with basically like tablet-sized phones. And I'm like, why are they getting bigger? They should be getting smaller. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there was a
That screen size.
Yeah, it really
but,
is.
You know.
Yep, but that's news on the 40s.
Also, politically news.
Oh, yes.
The obviously if you were living under a rock, you didn't hear, but the Democrats won back the House of Reps.
They did.
By a lot, and the Senate is still being controlled by the Republicans, also
is.
by even more than before.
Yeah.
I think it's now like 46 Democrats and like 53 Republicans, versus the House where it's like about like 220 Democrats
right.
versus like 206 Republicans, I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's a pretty well balanced then.
Yeah, pretty well. But
Pretty close on both sides.
Yeah,
for both-
very.
yeah.
And there were some super close races, but divided Congress now,
Yeah.
which will be interesting.
That is interesting. Speaking of politics, one thing that we were going to talk about a little bit is,
Is who we voted for? No, I'm kidding.
but what would we do if we were elected to some kind of position?
Yes.
You know, the classic. If you were president for a day or whatever you want to call it, what would you want to do? What do you think, Clay?
Free candy.
I would put all you sons of guns in jail.
Okay.
Whoa.
The prison that is my disturbed life. No, I'm kidding. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about this one. What?
What
I probably
should
complain.
you do?
I'm a person who I consider myself a very positive person. However, I'm a person who complains a lot. I probably complained about something today. So let me try and think about what I complained about. What I complain about a lot. Probably would make Minecraft illegal. I'd make Pokemon illegal.
Oh,
This is what I would do.
geez.
Give me a break.
I would get rid of all the things that my friends do that I don't feel included in.
Oh.
Game of Thrones.
I
is
would
gone.
cancel Game of Thrones and I'd cancel Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
No.
And I would also
Anything else?
I would also make it so that none of my friends would leave me after I graduated. And I'd make college 6 years
Aw.
long.
Ooh,
Oh,
I like that.
6
I
years.
like
That's
that.
pretty good.
That's interesting.
Wait, actually,
That's a little short, 10 years long.
that's a good one. I'd make college.
take
I
it.
think I just, I don't know.
I think it's the right length, to be honest.
Hey,
Hey, there's grad school for a
listen,
reason.
you're not
right?
president, okay? It's us.
Yeah, we're friends.
Hey, we're
And
all
I agree
president.
with Clay. I say
all of
college
our
is a lot
ideas
longer.
here.
Yeah, like 100 years.
100 years of college. And,
Free tuition.
And if you live past 100, then you can get a job if you want.
You can get a job at McDonald's or something.
Yeah, but until then, you're just in college always. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, what do you guys think about
Hey,
Like you're
tran-
just in a perpetual state of college until you get.
Yeah, and you're just always learning.
Yeah, you're always learning. You know.
never contributing anything, just learning? You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might run into.
No,
your
I mean, hey,
great-grandfather
you like
always-
where you work like jobs in the summer.
Hey, college students
Uh,
contribute a lot. Think about the entertainment we bring people through our.
Oh, that's
our
true.
radio program. we
That's
have for
true.
years. College students volunteer. They work jobs.
Yeah.
I think we contribute a lot.
You'd probably it'd be like probably expected that you get a job at some point.
We'd be like the most educated group of people on the planet, and there wouldn't be any stigma against people working like more menial jobs because hey, they're still in college.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Everything's
There we
solved. Oh wait. Sorry, I just thought of something that I was having this really long conversation earlier about today. I'll give a very short version. I don't know if I would change this, but it's just something that I think is interesting. What if humans, and I think this all came from the fact that I have a tendency to stay up really late and wake up very late if I don't have any like plans.
As do I. And
What-
I think most people on the show besides Sergey.
Yeah, but really
Okay, all people.
like the only reason we go to bed at night. Well, I guess there are some scientific studies saying like, oh, humans like to be awake when it's light out,
Yeah.
and stuff. But really,
But not anymore because we can create artificial day with lights and all that.
yeah.
other stuff.
So the need for us to kind of be awake during the day and asleep at night is kind of a thing that with the modern era is not as big of a deal anymore. So what if like humans like slept in shifts? Like a
that'd be
third of the
nice.
population was sleeping at all times or something.
That'd be
Because you got 8 hours of sleep, 24 hours in the day. So at any given moment, a third of people are asleep. At every hour, there's a certain group of people who wake up and a certain group of people who go to bed. And that's like your time or whatever. And you can switch times, but like think about that. There's just people working 24 hours. There's people, everything's open 24 hours. We can have more people because,
Nice.
you know what I mean? Now, instead of everyone being awake at once, 2/3 of the population is awake at once.
I love that.
Think of the
Dang.
efficiencies, think of the effectiveness. It's just something to consider. I mean, obviously there's holes in it, but I think it's cool
No,
to
I
think about.
do like that. Not to
It
go
is
off on a
something to
diatribe.
consider.
Not to go off on a diatribe. But this is one thing that drives me crazy that I would solve. So somebody goes to sleep from 10 and they wake up. They go to bed at 10 p.m. They wake up at 7.
Mm-hmm.
They sleep. How long is that? Is that 9 hours?
Wait, they go to sleep at 10?
Yes.
Wake up
Yeah,
at
yeah,
9
that's
hours.
9 hours,
That
yeah.
person is a productive person who is really good because he went to sleep early. I sleep from, let's say, 2 to 12, or let's say even 3 to 12.
Uh-huh.
Which, how much is that? It's also 9
9
hours,
hours.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm lazy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
What's the difference?
Exactly.
We're doing the same amount of
Yeah,
sleep,
there
just
isn't a
different
difference
times.
there.
Some people
There's
are
no
just,
difference between going to bed early and sleeping in late.
some people
to me.
are just wired to go to bed early or go to bed later.
Like, I get it. You go to bed at 10 p.m., you wake up at 12. Yeah. Maybe you had a really busy day, but if you do that every night, you're probably lazy. But why, depending on when we get to our sleep, is there judgment based on somebody's lazy or not?
Yeah,
It's true.
I just like being up at
Interesting
night.
point.
And the consequences, I sleep in late.
Yeah. And obviously there are people who work like the night shift or they work
Yes.
at night or
Oh,
whatever.
absolutely.
But like it's kind of like there's not that much opportunity.
But
You-
also those people who work the night shift, they have a lot of problems with depression and other mental illnesses because they're just completely alone all
Exactly.
night. If that was like a mass thing, that would probably go away.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be as bad.
And I do think a lot of people are kind of just pressured. I mean, not to get into like they're pressured by society to just be like, I got to be awake at these
And
hours.
we'd be
I
so
gotta
much
be
more
asleep.
productive because people would be working all the time.
Right.
And they'd be working when they want to.
And like a night shift, well, let's say in a year you can go back to working the day.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like
so
this idea.
probably the main way that would change would be changing starting times for work. So like, not that everyone started at the same time, but you would think, most jobs would probably start around like, 7 to 9, something like that.
Well, 9 to 5 is arbitrary, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Somebody just like
exactly.
that's when it'll work.
I think
Exactly.
people
So
are
I'm
just
saying-
starting. People start and end work at just random times throughout the day. Like,
Exactly.
There's probably
That's what I'm
always
saying.
someone starting, and someone ending.
Yeah, and it's also like I get that back in the day, of course you sleep at night. There's nothing to do. But now, pretty much everything we do in the day, besides outdoor activities, we can still do at night. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like that idea, Billy.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows how it actually work, and it would probably be impossible, but that's a good idea.
I think it's cool.
Jonathan, do you have any ideas for if you be president? No?
Well, I mean, okay, so what do you guys think about transportation? Because I think that we could do something about that. A lot of people talk about
Limes.
like limes. Well, no, but like underground
Yeah.
tunnels.
I've talked to you about this. right?
We've talked about
yes,
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think
Is that
about
what I was in this
Billy?
conversation?
Oh no. Well, we're bringing you into the conversation right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking.
Jonathan and I have talked about. Well, we specifically were using IU's campus as an example.
Right. Yeah.
We were saying like these underground transports that are just like insanely fast. Like you get in, it's like doors closing now, and then it just goes, and it's like
That's like Elon Musk's idea.
and then you like
Yeah, yeah.
get up, and then
And then you're there.
and then you're just there, and it's
Like,
like
I love this
yeah.
idea, but I have what I think might be a better and easier to do version of it. Let me know what you guys think.
okay.
So what drives me crazy is when I'm walking to a building on campus and I have to, because of the way the paths work, take this weird route that takes
Oh,
way
yeah.
longer than
Especially with
normally
all the construction right now.
Yeah.
What there should be is just underground. There's the two levels. A level where there's no buildings or anything, but like little ladders going up, so you can just walk in the most efficient direction wherever you want, without worrying about waiting at the streets or hitting a light. on
Yeah, that'd be
campus.
great.
And a deeper one for bicyclists. So if people want to ride bikes, they don't have to worry about getting stuck behind other people or about cars. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
That way, the subterranean walkers, instead of doing this weird zigzag around all the construction stuff and getting around this building, I could walk straight to my destination and probably save, honestly, about like a fifth or a fourth of my journey.
It's true.
Just mine.
Yeah. So that'd probably have to be underground as well.
That'd be underground, but you wouldn't have to
Yeah.
make the things.
Right,
Those would have
yeah.
to work on. Those would have to run on like. I guess they'd run on the same things as buses, right? Like little stops.
I
Yeah.
guess.
There wouldn't be as much freedom. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Maybe.
Hey, well, maybe we could have.
It's a good idea.
I almost
we
think
could
of them
have,
as like
four
roller
levels. We could have a
coasters.
biking
Oh.
level, a walking
Yeah,
level,
that would be
Walking level, walking level, and then
Yeah,
a level,
there's got to be a level.
and then a level where people can just chill out and there's like they're selling like nachos.
Oh, don't even
wait.
get started.
Oh, that's-
That would be a good level.
Yes, that's
be
what
awesome.
we need.
And it's open all night because people work all night.
Yeah,
so
'cause
as
people
soon as
work
you're
all
hungry,
night.
you're like, oh, just gonna climb to the
gonna
fourth
get the
level
nacho
and
and
get
cold
some
one
nachos.
level.
I know.
Oh shoot!
Oh,
Wait,
that
that'd
sounds
be
pretty great.
awesome.
That would be my dream world, actually. That'd be
Oh,
so cool.
jeez. I hope the future's like that.
Yes.
shoot!
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Although I was thinking about limes the other day, and I'm like, this is actually something that if somebody told me about when I was a kid, I'd be so excited and think it was so futuristic.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
It
Yeah,
still
that's-
kind of is exciting and
yeah,
futuristic.
but I mean less exciting for some reason because it's here, because it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a weird way for me. Like if my brother
That's
was to go
true.
up to me and tell me, hey, I know you, like when I'm like 6, hey, in the future it's gonna be awesome. There's just gonna be random scooters on the street that you can just jump on and ride wherever you want and just get off wherever you want. And you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to buy the scooters. You just rent them
pay
for
a little bit, yeah.
I'd be like, that's the future. Like that's so crazy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it's actually here now, and now it just seems, although it's really crazy at first, now it just seems kind of normal.
That's true. Every
me.
time I hop on one of those, it is still kind of, you get a little
Such
bit
a
of
thrill,
rush.
yeah.
When you first start revving it up, you're like, oh man.
See, I don't judge people who ride them to class, but I've never ridden them to class personally because I think I don't know, it just seems like kind of a disaster. But I have ridden
Seems
them
like a
around.
risk.
A risk, and they're so fun. Also, I do slightly judge people who ride the middle class and who like ride on the sidewalk or stuff like that when there's another
Sure,
spot
yeah.
riding it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jonathan and I saw something on the way to class. We have a class together, and we were walking, and there was this one guy liming in the middle of the road, and there was this bus behind him. It was
yes.
like it was the wackiest like sight I've ever seen on
Yeah,
the road because the
that's nice.
contrast between this guy going like 8 miles per hour on his lime scooter because he was
Well,
going slow,
Yeah, however slow it was.
and
but
then
yeah.
this bus like directly behind him.
This bus
just
is like
this
riding
huge
this
bus.
lime guy's
Yeah,
tail.
he was right
just
on
like
him.
riding in the middle of the road on this lime. Like, what's going on here? But
See,
it's pretty funny.
That's hilarious. I've seen so many near accidents and real accidents on limes though, and it's always people riding on sidewalks.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's true.
Yeah,
I've
we were
seen an
talking
accident
about
or two on limes,
Yeah.
but if you're careful about it, it's usually pretty safe.
No, but yeah, I was thinking like that's just like the future. That's so weird to me. You know what I mean?
50 years ago.
And now I'm like, what if when they make flying cars, they won't even seem weird to
Yeah.
me at all? I'll just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's cool, but that's the progression of technology. Versus when I was younger, or right now, if you told me that, I'd be like, holy cow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I'm not getting excited about this 4-level thing. There's also lime level.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a skateboard level.
Skateboard level. Oh,
No,
there's
the
just
skateboard
ramps all over the
no,
place.
the skateboard level is the one with the nachos.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
a nacho
definitely.
stand and like skateboarders.
Oh yeah, Mountain Dews, you know.
Mountain Dew, yeah, like other cold ones you can get.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy.
And the really fast level, I almost feel like one of those like roller coaster harnesses. Like you kind of
Oh,
put that
yeah,
over you,
yeah.
you strap yourself in.
Because it's not like
sweet.
it's like a bus. It's just like insanely like.
Yeah, and maybe when you get like older, maybe you have to be a certain age. Like you can't be too young, you can't be too old. You know, you must be this tall to ride, whatever. And it's just like
That'd be a lot
it's
of fun.
wild.
Yeah. Maybe
What
they
if,
could
like-
have like group pods for it too. Like they could have like different
Oh.
sizes depending on how many people you're
Right.
bringing with you. It's like, oh, here's the one. Like, you know, if you have like 4 to 7 people or whatever,
well,
it's
would
like,
they- would-
you can fit in with these many people.
Right.
Would they work like
Hop
a Lime
in.
or an Uber? Or would they always be going in a central route? Because that's how I imagine it would have to work. Like it would have to be one central route that, although it's really fast, it sort of works like a bus route. Like maybe there's 2 or 3 of them.
That's the Chicago L.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because if they're all person to person, you're gonna have people killing each other.
I think the idea was they're kind of just going back and forth between 2 locations.
That's kinda what
right?
I was
And they're all
thinking,
over
too.
the place.
But there's a bunch of them.
But the 2
Kinda costly.
locations,
Oh, well, yeah, they would have to have stops.
Along the way.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, because you'd also they'd all be going one way.
walk to a stop.
Those
Okay, get a
geniuses
little bit
will
of
figure it out,
exercise for a
No, but
second.
they'd all be going one way. Though is the only problem.
No, you could
Well,
have.
no,
them-
you'd go
could-
like for example from our house. The way I imagine it was our house to the Kelly School Business, just because that's the
So
route
just
I
say
get
what
the
you
most.
want. All that stop that goes is from our house to Kelly.
Well,
Yeah.
that's how. No, all I'm saying is like I imagine it like it goes
Can it stop
from
at
one
the Wick, too,
location
for yoga?
to another, and then one to the other. Yeah, maybe it should
That's
stop at the
a
Wick
that's a
for
walk
yoga.
that is a.
You should be able to choose where you want it to go.
Like they're very
and then it'll
customizable.
stop at that.
But this would have to be a
place.
secret only us know about, because otherwise, too many people would use it.
What if like
Oh man.
what if like each cart, like what if instead of it being this really long train or bus, it was like very small carts that fit like maybe 20 people tops, but there were a bunch of them. And so then you could like customize and like you could be like, oh, I want to go to this place, and then it'll be like, okay, like nearest stop, and then like maybe there'll be 20 people who also need to go there. Maybe there'll be way more, in which case a bunch of those cars will be going in that direction. Maybe there'll
Yeah.
be less, in which case you might
I
have
like
the
this
place to
idea, but
yourself.
see, this just sounds like complete chaos. You know what I mean? I'm just seeing like cars hitting each other.
Hey, limes
versus-
seem like complete chaos.
versus like imagine this: like your professor is like, all right, 5-minute break. I know you guys are tired. And you're like, oh sweet, I'm going to the 4th level. You climb down, you do some like ollies, you get some nachos. That'd be a lot of
man,
fun.
that'd be sweet.
Actually, I'd be fun if this was only that one random nacho level. You know what I mean? Like you just go down
underground
there,
nachos.
You just go down anywhere in the United States,
Oh,
and there's
man.
going to be like a place where you can get nachos.
Oh yeah. They have like nacho fountains all over the place.
Yeah, it's just like a
Oh, wow.
completely dark space
Yeah.
with like one like lit up like
Or
nacho.
it should just be like a fondue level in general.
Oh wait,
Oh
that's
man, they have like the chocolate fountains.
Yeah.
The
oh wait,
nacho
that would be
fountains.
awesome.
Oh, wow.
man.
That'd
They've
be so
got
good.
like all these sticks and like marshmallows and stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
You can just pick one off the wall.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Did any of you guys watch Harry Potter?
Oh yeah, I've watched those. Pardon.
Okay.
Some of it.
Yeah.
And like
I've
the-
watched those many times
Some of
through.
them.
I think in the 5th one, it's like the Order of the Phoenix. They have like there's like this one scene with these elevators that they get into, and the elevators like just it kind of sounds very similar to this transportation. They kind of go like everywhere pretty much. They
Oh,
go-
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm talking
It's
about?
like the flu, right, or something like
Something
that.
like that.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, this isn't going to be magic. This is going to be science. Okay.
Oh.
Hey, we might need a little bit of magic.
Hey, all I'm saying is it might be too difficult. So that's
Hey, what is
why
that quote where
it's
it's
left
like
to the
where it's
magic.
like where it's like magic is just science to those who don't like
Yeah.
truly get it.
Yeah.
Also, we should probably go to questions soon because we've taken a.
I don't.
It's been a lot of fun.
I actually do not think we have any questions. Unless any listeners want to text in a question, if anyone would like to.
We can answer it.
We
We're too busy talking about this.
Yeah, no,
these
this is
future
a good
ideas.
just to wrap
man.
it up.
Oh wait, and I guess that's.
Was there anything else that? Sorry, I was just gonna say. Is there anything else you guys would want to change?
Oh, I think.
I mean, realistically, I don't want to change a lot of things, but to keep it funny, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
funny stuff. I mean.
Yeah.
I would also. Oh, I was just talking about this with Simone. I'd get rid of all hot dogs and replace all of them with corn dogs. Because to me, they're so much better.
How about we just keep both?
Yeah,
and
come
corn
on.
dogs can be
I would
more
make it a
I'd rather
law
have
that
the freedom.
any place selling fries has to also serve curly fries.
And waffle fries.
And waffle.
And
sweet potato fries.
cheese curds.
Yes, sweet potato
Oh,
fries.
man.
And cheese curds and tater tots. Law.
Interesting.
Onion rings, though, I don't need.
I think.
Onion rings sound great, but you bite into an onion, you bite into an onion ring, you suck out the slimy onion.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm in the mood for it.
Yeah.
mood,
Sometimes in the mood, I'm just saying to the slimy word.
But
I like onion rings.
The good onion rings are fine, but like I think I'm just traumatized because one time I was eating an onion ring with especially slimy long onion, and it like stuck to the side of my throat, and I couldn't get it out, and I felt a little bit like I was choking.
Ugh.
Like my eyes were watering.
no.
I wasn't in any danger, but it was just very,
Oh
very
goodness,
unpleasant.
that
Yeah.
sounds terrible.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I would say if I was, had a day to be, president or whatever, I think I would change and make college or universities free. I don't know how that would happen.
Oh no, yeah. I mean that's obviously like
Yeah.
college free, healthcare free, all this stuff free.
Debatable, but we don't have
what?
to get into that.
We're not talking about real
We're
stuff.
not talking about
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
We're throwing reality out the window.
Wait, are you debating the college thing?
I'm saying it's debatable.
It is.
I'm saying it's debatable. But let's not get into
I think it would be good all around the board, personally.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
like debatable if it could happen.
no, there are pros and cons.
There's pros and cons,
Yeah.
is all I'm saying.
but I
Jonathan
think
just worried there won't be anybody shining his shoes when he walks into Lincoln.
Hey, come on.
Well, hey, we actually had so much fun talking about this and talking about the alarm clock game that we had a segment Sergey had planned. It was going to be kind of a little bit of history, trivia, and we were not able to get to it. So maybe next week will be like History Week, or
yeah,
maybe a little bit
maybe.
of Thanksgiving in there.
Oh,
History
definitely
Week.
definitely
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
History Week.
Who knows?
History Week. I'd like a part in planning since I am the only history major
So
here.
we did get a question. This
Let's
one
answer real
comes
quick.
from the aforementioned Duncan Heidkamp, who used to
Duncan.
have a political show here. And his question is, which
More like
country,
politically incorrect show.
which country would you want to take over?
Oh,
Ah.
I actually have thought of this before.
I mean, Canada might make sense because they're right there.
Canada, but like
They're so
it's like, oh, I have
nice, you
Canada.
know.
They're so nice, but it's like okay, I own a country. Let's go vacation. Oh, let's go to Canada. That'll be a lot of fun. I mean, nothing against the Canadians, but I'm just saying.
Hey, come on, yeah.
Ooh, I would probably take Iceland.
Iceland,
Yeah.
what's that?
They have a really good economy.
Mm-hmm.
They're
But
very
if you
very-
take it over, are you upheaving everything, or are you just taking it over?
taking it over. They're very self-sustaining. They have
self-sustaining.
great natural resources, and they're an island. So I think they're not huge, so it wouldn't be too difficult to take it over, and it wouldn't also be like too difficult to maintain since they're much smaller.
Nice.
Yeah, great tourist spot also.
Oh yeah, sure. Billy,
true.
where'd you take over?
I don't know. I don't really think I'd take anyone over. I'll take the peaceful path. Although I do like the
Well, who
idea.
says it has to be violent though?
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. Like
Yeah, maybe
they
maybe
want to join.
yeah,
It's a little merger, you know?
yeah. A little
Oh,
merge.
a little merger.
M&A.
Well, I feel like it's got to be close, just because that'd be kind of hard. I don't know. I don't really want to
Although
give
if
an
it
answer.
was
I don't
far,
know.
that could be. So imagine.
Oh,
if
that'd
we
be.
took
Are you saying
over-
there's positive if it was far? Maybe.
So I'm saying possibly. What if we took over like some European country? Because one thing that I'm kind of jealous of with Europe is you can like hop on a train and be like in a totally
Oh.
different country.
Well,
so
same
if
with-
all of a
same
sudden
with you.
this other country was part of the U.S. and it was like super easy to go back and forth between, there were like tons of really cheap flights. You know, they follow all the
Oh,
same
that's
laws.
actually a
They use the
decent
same
point.
currency and everything.
But we already as Americans have that same right to like travel in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
We
this
have
would be
that
this would be even better,
Yeah.
even easier.
I
You know,
pick a
they
country
could have like a
I've-
tube under the
I've
sea
always
that'll get you
wanted
there too. So
I pick a country I've always wanted to go to and might never be able to, which is Iran. So I could go there easily.
I can speak Persian.
Yes, I can use my Persian skills.
Oh, interesting.
I always
that'd be
liked the
pretty great.
idea in Star Trek, which takes place in the future.
And
of,
it
like,
takes place in
humanity.
Iran.
No, it takes place in the future. They talk. Sometimes they'll like reference past history, and one thing they talk about is like by the time aliens came to Earth, like all the countries had united, and like Earth was known as like United Earth, which
Yeah.
I always thought that was like a
Yeah,
really
that's
cool
like a
concept.
recurring like sci-fi thing too.
Like countries are basically kind of almost like states, and there's like a governing body of like all of Earth. I thought that was kind of a cool idea whenever I
But
would
then
watch
who's
the
gonna
show.
take Djibouti? No kidding.
I don't know. United Earth. It's all part of United Earth. Even Atlantis.
What the? No kidding.
Not to get into that. I'll save that for
and
Atlantis
next week we'll be getting into more about Atlantis.
No.
Is it real or not
Atlantis
real?
week, yeah.
You be the judge.
Well, hey, we gotta
We've been the boys cold 1 hour.
get out of here.
Yes.
But thank
Listen
you
to Goodnight
guys.
Moon coming up next.
Yes, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, thank
Tune in
you.
next week for our Thanksgiving special.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that'll be exciting. And also our Atlanta special. And have a good rest of the night.
Good night, guys.
Good
Like
night.
me, you'll spend the rest of the night doing work. So I hope you have a productive night if that's the case. Or relaxing night if you don't have to.
Good night.
Sweet dreams.
Bye.